Good Shana Tova, everyone. And for people watching on Zoom, my name is Samuel Rheins. I'm the Rabbinic intern here at Adath. And this morning, I guess this afternoon, we're going to talk about one of the major things that we all do during Rosh Hashanah, and that's mainly that it's a period of reflection for a lot of us. And that we look to the year that we just passed and we think, what did we do well? What did we do not so well? What were our accomplishments and failures? And at the same time, now we think, okay, this next year is going to be the best year yet. We're going to have a year of personal growth. We're going to accomplish our goals. And all those distractions that distracted us the year before, we're not going to do anymore. Good goals. And this idea of wanting to accomplish our goals but not getting distracted, another language for this is the strife between the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination, and the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. And the Yetzer HaTov is the thought in our head that's telling us to go the extra mile to help out, to be kind to someone, to smile at someone when they're walking by, or to do mitzvot. And the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, it's not always evil, but it's the voice in our head that's telling us it's okay to cut corners. It's okay if we're 5 minutes late to that meeting, they won't miss me. It's the voice in our head that's telling us we don't have to be the best person that we can be. And the sages in the Talmud have this wonderful discussion, this wonderful Agadah, this midrash, where they describe what the Yetzer Hara looks like. I was expecting it to be like a little devil on your shoulder. It's not the case. But in Tractate Sukkah 52a, the sages describe a scenario where God kills the Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara appears different to the righteous person than it appears to the wicked person. To the righteous person, the Yetzer Hara appears as like a towering mountain. And to the wicked person, the Yetzer Hara appears as like thin as a strand of hair. And the Talmud goes on to say, and the wicked person looks at the strand of hair and says, I could have overcome the Yetzer Hara anytime I wanted to. Why didn't I? It was such an easy thing just to put in that extra little effort. I could have overcome that voice in my head telling me not to do the right thing. And the righteous person looks at the mountain hanging above their head and they go, oh my God, how did I ever do anything right? We have this looming temptation over us, whatever it is. How did I ever overcome the Yetzer Hara? And another commentary to this that my friend shared, they talk about how is it that the strand of hair and the mountain are related. And the explanation goes into that the strand of hair eventually turns into the mountain, because when the wicked person looks at the Yetzer Hara, it starts maybe with a little thing of, oh, I can be 5 minutes late to this, what's the harm? Nothing's going to come from it. I'll just do one little thing. There'll be no lasting consequences. And the righteous person looks at the same scenario and they say, oh my gosh, if I do this one little thing, then that's going to snowball to the next thing. I'm late for the meeting, and now I missed this and missed this and missed this, and all of a sudden I'm out of a job, and you name your thing, and it snowballs out of control. So the righteous person looks at even the tiniest infraction as looming dread. It's kind of a tough message that if we do one small thing, if we do one thing wrong, it's going to snowball out of control. Not the easiest to deal with. But the opposite is true, the reverse is true. That if we do good things, that if we give into our better nature selves, that one good thing leads to another. And this is perfectly captured in Pirkei Avot 4:2, where it says, mitzvah goreret mitzvah, the avera goreret avera, that one mitzvah leads to another, one good deed leads to another, and one sin leads to another. Makes sense. And so on Rosh Hashanah and on secular New Year and everything like that, we take upon New Year's resolutions that, this year, every week I'm going to read 2 books or run 5 miles a day. And we create these lofty goals for ourselves, these huge goals that by the end of next year, by next Rosh Hashanah, we're going to be completely different people. We're going to be better people. But accomplishing big goals is hard. There's a rabbi in Israel, Rabbi Eli Stefansky. He runs a great Daf Yomi shir, a Talmud shir every day. And he was talking about when we come into the new year, having these big goals that we impose upon ourselves is not the right way to go about it. Because, of course, we're going to fail one day and get discouraged, or realize that it takes so much effort to do this big thing every day or every week that we give up. And so he said what we should be doing is taking upon ourselves small but important things. So a small but important thing could be 5 minutes a day for praying or meditation, or going for a short walk each day. It could be reading the weekly Torah portion each week, with the idea being that this is something that we can accomplish. And as we know, because one good thing leads to another, we stack one good thing on one good thing on one good thing, and soon enough, by the end of the year, we're on top of the mountain where we need it to be. It's great. But even with the small things, we still fail. You know, how often is it that when it comes to New Year's resolution of, okay, I'm going to just do this for 10 minutes a day, not hard, and then of course 1 week into it, something happens, something out of our control, and we don't do it. And if we're not going to do it 100%, what's the point of doing it at all? You know, if we're not going to be perfect at it, why would we keep with a goal that we broke in week 2 of the new year? And Rabbi Stefanski takes another approach to this, and he says, Judaism is not about winning and losing. No one is getting a first place prize because you did your New Year's resolution better than the next person. No one's getting a second place prize because you only missed one day. It's when we fall off the horse, we get back on it. Every one of us will have a week or a day or a month where we just don't live up to our goals. Okay, well, continue on. It doesn't stop. And so may it be that this year we take upon ourselves small but important things, and what those things are, we'll decide for ourselves, and we keep going and going and going. And that if and when we fall off and we don't accomplish our daily or weekly goal, we get right back on the horse. Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom. And hopefully next year we'll be on top of mountains.